Welcome to World of Monsters. I'm Monster Master Arthur, and welcome to Monster Art Reviews. This is a series where I review 5 artworks from either what people send me, old stuff, or even new stuff that I find for myself. And yes, if you haven't been or haven't seen one of these videos, since I haven't done one in a while, so this is exciting. Today we have 5 pieces here, and by the way, each one gets 2 minutes of review time so that I don't go overboard with any, everybody's treated equally, and the purpose of these are to, 1, feature artists foremost, and secondly, to possibly critique if my words are worth anything. So just to take a look at it, discuss it, and again, most of all, feature the artist. So let's get started, and the first one is these. I'm gonna have 2 artworks from a gentleman that sent me his physically, and then the rest will be old works of my own. So these are from Dylan Seymour, and he actually sent me prints of these artworks signed by him by mail. And I'm totally grateful for that, and I didn't even realize that it was from overseas because I'm in the US, and I thought he was in the US as well, but he actually sent them all the way from the UK, and these are beautiful prints, and I hope to have them in my background during recording times in the future. So, without further ado, let's feature the first artwork, which is this classic movie Monsters, and let's get started with the timer. And here we go. And plus, hey, he sent me this stuff, so he gets some extra time. He has some really cool stuff, and I was really excited to see this because you never know what to expect in the mail from the subscriber. You don't know if it's like child refrigerator art or professional stuff, but this was really cool. And if you take a look at it, I mean, you can clearly see that it's not his first time doing a artwork of this sort. And he certainly has trained, whether himself or through schooling, he has experience in it, and you can see it. And particularly, the first thing I noticed was the variety of colors that are added all over the place. For example, the Frankenstein's monster on the left, he's green, but there's a lot more than just one tone of green. There's grays, there's dark greens to bright greens. Same with the skin-toned characters such as Dracula in the middle, Frankenstein's bride, and then the mummy on the top left, to the werewolf, Wolfman on the right. You see that the skin tones have reds, yellows, again blues, browns, just as real skin does, and oranges. So that's really cool. Love the little creature from Black Lagoon in the top right. So that's what I noticed, is he mixed in a ton of colors, and that's what professional painters and artists do. And then what I noticed is how unique his style is. You still see the whites that separate in between colors, and I've seen a lot of different styles of colored pencil, and usually they're thick and overlapping styles, kind of as you do with pastels. But here you got this white, and you can see how nice the ink outline works, especially on the Wolfman there around the edges, and he leaves a nice white natural paper highlight at the top. So I think we're up about at the 2-minute mark, and there we go. That's the alarm. So let's go to the next one. Alrighty, this is Labyrinth, and I'm using images that he sent me rather than taking my own photos, as I trusted his would be better. So let's start the timer. Alright, this is Labyrinth, and this is actually when he contacted me. It was after I made the Labyrinth All Creatures video, All Monsters of the Labyrinth, and my thumbnail actually looked very similar to this. Like, I featured in my thumbnail that little worm guy and the other main characters, because that little worm guy was just awesome. It was humorous, it was excellent. This is when he contacted me. He's actually the first subscriber, first viewer that I've ever received anything physical from. So you can imagine how excited I was to await this in the mail. And to my surprise and happiness, it's awesome stuff. So we got David Bowie up there to the right. And just a fun fact, one of David Bowie's pupils has always been dilated. He has a certain condition on that eye. And I didn't find that out until after his death, unfortunately. But that makes David Bowie, in my eyes, even cooler and unique. So this great classic image here, and I love how he composes all the main characters, and he does this for many movies. You can see his posts on our World of Monsters Facebook group. He has a lot of posts there, as well as the Bottled Imp Fellowship, which is a group on Facebook that relates to the Bottled Imp YouTube channel, which is also an awesome channel that we communicate with. So again, awesome artwork. Just look at I forgot the guy's name, but the center kind of dwarf at the bottom. See the wrinkles, see the various colors and all the work that went into there. Very solid, very unique and very clean. Clean and crisp sort of style, with the white of the background staying there and working in with the artworks. So as far as critique, not too much. Well, not anything. I'm not going to be arrogant and say this or that. It's just a really cool and unique style to see, and the quality of these prints is excellent. So it's a really cool style and technique. I'd say the thing he'd have to keep close attention to is getting the base lines accurately down, the measurements of the faces, and yeah, since they're mostly faces and bodies, the proportions, the main line work before the coloration. Coloration's great. It's a specific style. Can't say much in the outlining of the pen, but that's where he has to pay key attention to. And with that, I have to thank you, Dylan Seymour, so much. I wish I could have communicated this by voice, but we did chat on there. So yeah, take this as another thank you for not only the first gift from a subscriber, but also awesome artwork, a creation of your own. So excellent. Love it. And let's go to the next one. All right, so we're going to be going over mine. This is an older work of mine. Let me get started here. Here we go. And I forgot what I called this. Okay, start. I forgot what I called this image, but it was something like imp. Yeah, imp head. And this is my very first Photoshop painting. They didn't even teach us Photoshop digital painting in school. I went to graphic design. I studied graphic design / visual communications, and I found out all about digital painting by first doing it and then going over to websites and finding, hey, that people have been doing this for ages, well, for a long time, and I didn't know, and it was so amazing to me. So this was just a quick, just mess around. Proportions are terrible, dimensions, whatever, but I didn't care. It was just cool to create something and put a shadow under it and play with the highlight in the background. So I created this face. It was done in black and white first, and then coloring was later put in using the Photoshop layer color styles. I forgot what that's called, but layer work with the colors and saturation, things like that. So this was my very first one, and that's why I love these series. Number one, again, to feature other artists, but also for me to showcase my stuff, because I have so much stuff that's just saved up in the computer and nobody's gonna look at it. Well, I don't have anybody around usually to show it to that really cares. So it's just cool to have an outlet like this, and that's why I'm showing you the oldest stuff. This is from 2008, and yeah, 2008. Let me just get my color thing here. Yeah, this was from 2008, my oldest digital painting, and that's what I'm doing. I'm working from my oldest sketches. I haven't even started on my artworks yet. From my worst to my best, and we're only like 3 episodes in, and sometimes I don't get a chance to showcase it since I have to showcase other people. But that's the exciting thing is, and that's why I'm starting with the oldest stuff first, so that when we hit the good stuff, my audience should be better and everybody should think I'm a better artist or whatever. But yeah, that's what I'm doing, is I'm starting with the worst, working up to the best, and probably most recent stuff. Okay, timer started. This is one of my first. This was a little bit more than a sketch, maybe just a quick sketch. This was, you know, seeing what I could do and exploring. Especially, you could see in the let me use my brush, in the upper left-hand corner here of the artwork. Oh, sorry, let me do that on this layer. Of the artwork here, you can see that. You can see the darkness and the brights right there. That's me messing around with the dodge and burn. Let's see what else. Yeah, it was just cool. I remember after I created this, my design teacher, he saw this and he was like, he really liked this one for its character and being supernatural and just, yeah, the character being so remote and strange. And yeah, and I look forward to showing you guys what I did after this. This was also 2008. All of these are. So my very, very first digital paintings. And what you got to focus on at any point, what shows your real artistic ability is proportion and dimension. And I didn't have that down too well here, but I wasn't too concerned with it. I was just having fun as it was Photoshop and new painting technology. I didn't have to smell paints, make a mess. It was portable. It was amazing to find this art medium out. So yeah, again, I would still consider this no more than really a sketch and just exploration. And it was a fun little creature here. Can you imagine what inspired this kind of design? Let me know in the comments, actually, because I had something, but I kind of forgot what it was. So, okay. And my final artwork, also from around 2008, was this guy. And this is, I think, when I started to look and learn about this medium. Oh, let me get the timer. Okay. So yeah, this was around the beginning. This is when I first started seeing that other artists do this, how it works, and all that. This was a bit more metaphorical. It was more of a symbolic, kind of abstract artwork. I wanted to get this creature in. Again, anatomy, proportions, not great. Definitely weird stuff going on here. But what I wanted to get to is him kind of burning, and then this skull, it's not really a creature there. Well, it could be an entity, but it's kind of out of the smoke in the background, just kind of connecting with his mouth more or less. At least that's what I remembered in my mind when I was creating this. And you can see the heat waves kind of coming out of his mouth there. You got the fire burning here, causing the smoke. This is either a demon, or it was something not so evil, and now it's transforming into evil through these flames as it's being enchanted or cursed. So like something like this shoulder here, this one is kind of messed up. Let me clear that off if you see what I mean. So I'd say that's a problematic area, a lot of problematic areas, and the highlights could have been done a lot better, highlighting here and more here to where the flames are and all that. And in a terrible, from my perspective now, it should look like it's going backward more, but it all looks kind of flat here. And that's, yeah, that's a clear goof. But I think at that time, again, I didn't even care that much because I was just too into exploring what I could do with this stuff. So it was a cool little balanced piece, and yeah, it definitely took me into another realm and route of this medium of digital painting. So it's not always a challenge within the artwork that advances you. Like I say during my sketches, every sketch kind of challenges me in some new path within there, but it also challenged me outside of the artwork with content matter, more or less. And yeah, good to see little marks here by the teeth too, some scaling, stuff like that, texture. And then unfinished areas, which are always a joy to leave out. I don't know, I just like seeing professional artwork with little unfinished bottom or sides to it. So thanks for watching Monster Art Reviews. Thank you, Dylan Seymour, for the awesome artwork that you sent in. And once again, guys, you can send me your artwork to be featured here in these series through Facebook. You can message me on YouTube, and I can give you my email. And yeah, there's also links to the Facebook and all that within the description box below. So I do hope you enjoy these. And again, as far as from my position, I'm showing my oldest, grittier work first before we get to the good stuff. Until next time, you guys have been watching Monster Art Reviews, here only at world of monsters.